Do you struggle with allergies, asthma, cough, sinusitis, rhinitis, post-nasal drip, Parkinson's, facial paralysis, anxiety, depression, memory impairment, hormone imbalance, headaches, or migraines? Do you have a perpetual frog in your throat or fog in your brain? Do you want to optimize the functioning of your senses? Stick around if you would like to learn an ancient Ayurvedic secret for addressing these issues. In Ayurveda, we do deep detective work to understand the root causes for our imbalances. For the above-mentioned issues, it's not just about avoiding external triggers, but also assessing how our diet and lifestyle impact our digestion, metabolism, and immune strength. We also take into account our inherent qualities. Some people are naturally more dry, some oily, some light, some heavy, some hot, some cold, etc. We customize our recommendations according to your specific qualities, causative factors, and symptoms. Our primary focus is on removing the causes as much as possible and optimizing our digestion and metabolism using nutrition, daily routines, spices, and herbs. In addition to these interventions, I offer in-person services for ailments relating to the eyes, ears, mouth, nose, hormones, mind, and emotions. One of these therapies is called Nasya. Can you guess what the Sanskrit word Nasya means? It comes from the word nasa, which means nose. Nasya means related to the nose. This refers to the Ayurvedic administration of medicinal substances via the nostrils. When you first enter my calming treatment room, you sit in a chair with your feet soaking in warm water with aromatic bath salts. I lovingly oil your upper back and shoulders, neck, face, chest, scalp, and hair with person-specific herbally medicated warm oil. While this may seem to be a mere cosmic head massage and facial, it is so much more. Next, I rub a special oil on your chest and back that is made with thymol, camphor, and menthol crystals in a base oil. Thymol is a compound in thyme. It reduces airway irritation and increases the cough threshold. It has anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antiviral, and antiseptic properties and can inhibit lung inflammation in asthma. Menthol is a compound in mint. While excessive consumption of cough drops with menthol can worsen chronic coughs, inhalation of menthol vapor can ameliorate them. Camphor and menthol activate cold receptors in the nose, and this tricks the brain into thinking that breathing is easier. Camphor comes from the camphor plant. It is a decongestant as well as having antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory effects. After that, you lean over a pot of steaming water that has eucalyptus leaves in it. Eucalyptus improves breathing by loosening phlegm and reducing congestion. It is a bronchodilator, which means it relaxes the airways. The steam loosens mucus and clears sinus congestion. It can also help with a hoarse, sore, or tired voice. Oiling and steaming before Nasya is an essential part of the therapy. In the Chataka Samhita, an ancient textbook of Ayurveda, the author writes, administering sudation or sweat therapy, especially after oleation, controls vata and prevents clogging of the feces, urine, as well as semen. To that, I would add that it prevents the clogging of sweat, hormones, breast milk, menstrual blood, excess mucus, and any other substance that needs to flow freely in order to support vitality. Mitigating vata means counteracting anything that is excessively dry, light, cold, rough, hard, stiff, or mobile. Then Chataka writes, if oleation and sudation could soften dried out timber, then why not a human being? One translator takes this analogy a step further by saying, when a dry log is kept in oil for some days and then exposed to steam, it can be bent to the point of our convenience. To summarize, regularly oiling and steaming our bodies enhances elimination, circulation, strength, stability, and flexibility. Within the context of Nasya, the benefits are targeted at structures in the head and their functions. After the oil and steam, I help you lie down and I carefully insert oils into your nose using a dropper. The nasal mucosal lining is a thin, porous membrane made up of epithelial, nerve, immune, and other types of cells. The transportation of therapeutics from the nasal epithelium directly to the central nervous system occurs primarily through the olfactory and trigeminal nerve pathways. The surrounding blood and lymphatic vessels may absorb therapeutics and distribute them systemically, with a small portion of the drug also reaching the brain. There are intranasal Western pharmaceutical drugs that treat asthma, allergies, migraine, opioid overdose, hormone imbalance, psychiatric disorders, and more. Ancient Ayurvedic physicians understood the effectiveness of nasally administered therapeutic substances. There are many different Ayurvedic materials that we use for Nasya, including the juice, powder, or decoction of medicinal plants. A common preparation is made by boiling client-specific herbs in water until the majority of water has evaporated. This concentrated herbal liquid is called a decoction. This is an extract of the water-soluble therapeutic constituents of the plant. To this we add more herbs plus a carrier oil. We continue to boil this to extract the oil-soluble constituents. This medicated oil is ready when all the water has evaporated. We strain out the remaining plant matter, and this is what we use to insert into your nose during Nasya therapy. We choose the herbs and oils based on your constitution and on your symptoms. Common carrier oils include sesame or cultured ghee. These oils facilitate absorption of phytonutrients into our cells. Both sesame oil and ghee are able to cross the blood-brain barrier, making it possible for hard-to-reach areas like the central nervous system to benefit from the herbal actions. Sesame oil on its own was shown to mitigate memory impairment, oxidative stress, and neurodegeneration in a rat model of Alzheimer's disease. Studies demonstrate that ghee, medicated with the Ayurvedic herb Brahmi or Bacopa monnieri, enhances learning and memory. There is also documentation on the use of Nasya in polycystic ovarian syndrome, infertility, abnormal menstruation, thyroid, and other endocrine imbalances. After we insert the oils, they spread along the mucosal membrane, carrying substances to different locations, providing nourishment to the nasal structures and other organs, including the eyes, ears, and mouth. It is important to note that Nasya therapy is an excellent way to access a marma or pressure point called Shringataka that is difficult to activate in the traditional manner of massage. We can massage the area beneath our cheekbone as seen in this picture, but Nasya goes deeper. Shringataka marma controls several essential functions such as prana vayu, the wind that is responsible for taking energy or life force into our body through inhalation and swallowing. It also governs the reception of information. Ojas, which is our immune system, and strength, which allows us to resist illnesses and disease. Lubrication of the nerves of our sensory organs, which facilitates good vision, smelling, tasting, and hearing. A fatty sheath called myelin insulates these nerves, and when we apply oil to this region, the epithelial cells metabolize it and use it to nourish these fatty structures. Herbs, like Western medicines, circulate and impact various systems of the body. Respiratory herbs target the respiratory system. Nervine herbs support the nervous system. Herbs with an affinity for the mind support mental clarity, memory, mood stabilization, and so forth. While it may sound strange to have your Ayurvedic doctor put clarified butter up your nose, the results are worth it. At the conclusion of this therapy, you gargle a substance that I prepare that is specific for you. The most common gargle I prepare is a fennel decoction with turmeric and salt. Gargling reduces inflammation of the throat, prevents colds, eliminates bad breath, exercises the jaw, facial, and eye muscles, helps get rid of the frog in your throat, strengthens your teeth and gums, and produces a jolly, bright feeling in your head region. Chadaka writes, one should take a course of medicated oil processed with herbs when the sky is free from clouds. People who practice Nasya per the prescribed method at the proper time will keep their sight, smell, and hearing unimpaired. Their hair and beard will never become white or gray. Their hair will not fall off, rather will grow in abundance. Nasya nourishes the blood vessels, joints, ligaments, and tendons of the cranium, giving them greater strength. The face will become cheerful and plump. The voice will become mellow, firm, and stentorian, or loud and powerful, and all the senses will become clearer and strengthened considerably. Diseases related to the head and neck will not attack them all of a sudden, even though they might be aging. The effects of senility will not affect the head. There are instances when Nasya is not indicated. It should be avoided in pregnancy because of its potential effect on hormones. Do not do it during menstruation either because it activates upward movement, which can interfere with the downward flow of blood. Avoid Nasya if you have acute fever, flu, nasal injuries, recent nasal surgery, and in certain medical conditions. You can give Nasya to yourself as part of your daily routine. Contact me to schedule your full Ayurvedic assessment. If appropriate, I will create a custom herbal formula and base oil specific to your constitution and symptoms. If you receive Nasya therapy in person, it pairs well with my eye and ear procedures, marma or pressure point therapy, abhyanga, full body application of warm medicated oil, and shirodhara, oil streaming on the forehead. Thank you for watching. If you are interested in the Radiant Living Academy of Ayurveda's educational offerings, contact me through my website that I linked in the description below. If you live in the San Antonio area, I welcome you to my healing space to experience Nasya in the flesh. Also below, you will find the link to my scheduling page. May you and your senses have a wonderful day.